Commission, you don't need it. This is a very simple matter, Debal. And the problem is that if you get people like Sosion who come to these shows and they just want to literally just read the Constitution and
not
draw
come to
conclusion,
the Constitution,
you will not be helpful to Kenyans. I want to say only two things, Debal. Number one, Debal, we have chapter 6, leadership and integrity chapter on our Constitution. And the way you read the Constitution, you read it and see whether there is power that has been donated to Parliament to pass other statutes so that there is full implementation of that particular chapter. That's how you interpret the Constitution. You can have guiding principles in the Constitution, but there is power. A chapter can donate power to Parliament to pass a legislation to give effect to that chapter. Now, if you go to chapter 6, which if you want to read Sosion, starts from Article 73. If you go to Article 80, power has been given to Parliament to pass legislation to give full effect to that chapter. Debal, if you read Article 80 of our Constitution, it says Parliament shall enact legislation. That's power donated to Parliament. C, that is what is critical now for our debate this morning, to provide for the application of this chapter with the necessary modifications to public officers. Now, using that power, Parliament has enacted, and that's, now I'm telling you, Sosion, that's how you interpret the Constitution. Now, using that power, Parliament has enacted the Leadership and Integrity Act. If you go to Section 23, and you are a very good reader, because reader of the Constitution and interpretation, you have already read for us at Section 23 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. It says an appointed state officer, then it has an exemption. Other than a cabinet secretary, okay, shall not, in the performance of their duties, act as an agent of a political party, blah, blah, blah. There is a clear exemption. Now, if you are in doubt, go back to, I believe, Article 163. Now, Article 163 has established the Supreme Court of Kenya. If you see there, this established the Supreme Court, which shall consist of blah, blah, blah. Yes. And what is important for us here, what should be of significance to Kenyans, is that it states that the Supreme Court shall be the highest court in the land, and its decision shall be final, and they shall be binding. They shall be binding to all Kenyans and to all the other courts. In 2017, I was one of the lawyers who argued the petition on behalf of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And we flagged Section 23 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, and we said it's unconstitutional. It was against Chapter 6. In fact, I was the one who was given the task of arguing that particular ambit of our petition. I did a sterling performance, but the judges disagreed with me. And they said, Chapter 6 donated that power to you people as parliamentarians. You have passed the Leadership and Integrity Act. You are given power to do any modification by the legislation that was to be enacted by Parliament. You have exempted cabinet secretaries. We will not declare Section 23 to be unconstitutional. And that is the law. Once the Supreme Court has made that pronouncement, short of Sosion here using his power as a nominated member, moving an amendment on the floor of the House to amend Section 23, that remains the guiding law in the land. Now, it is in an act of Parliament. There is a pronouncement by the Supreme Court. Even if we make a lot of noise in these debates here, you can have baby cry from Sosion, my good friend. That will not change the law, Debal. That remains the law as it is in the statute. That remains the law as pronounced by the highest court in the land.
The argument very advanced by Sosion is, you know, the Constitution supersedes an article.
But I've read for you how you interpret the Constitution. The Supreme Court has interpreted. You see, I always tell my
so I'm saying Sosion is actually choosing to go the Constitution way. He wants to present to Kenyans that the Constitution is superior.
I've read for you Section 80.
The article.
I've read for you the Constitution. Section 80 gave power to Parliament to pass legislation to give full effect to Chapter 6.
Right.
Using that power,
yes,
Parliament passed the Leadership and Integrity Commission. Now, what my learned friend should have done, there's a time I saw my friend William Ruto had marshaled the 150 members of Parliament to show that he had the control of Parliament. What he ought to have done at that time, if he had any issues with Section 23 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, was to rally members of Parliament to move to the floor and amend Section 23, which he never did. Even if he sent Sosion to come and have the kind of cries he's having this morning, that will not change the law. And I'm a senior counsel, I owe it to Kenyans to tell them the truth as it is today.
Just search me a second, because I want to know what was the rhyme and reason for actually coming with that particular Article 23 that used the Constitution to come up here. What was the rhyme and reason?
Because in the Supreme Court decision, the judges explained, they said, look, cabinet secretaries are picked to serve the political party of the day, the one that wins the election. They are its agent. They are the one, the court explained and said, these are the people who propagate the policies of that particular political party that is in power.
Okay.
Therefore, we are not going to stop them from being agents of that political party, because by extension, they are the agents of that political party.
Agents to what extent? To the extent of a minister giving opinion polls in a projected election.
Now,
which minister? Which minister? You need to be very categorical. Where is that evidence that he presented?
We've seen Mucheru giving opinion polls.
Which opinion polls? You need to be very categorical. Which opinion polls?
The presidential.